The next thing I wanted to talk about was these tie rod ends. And this is the steering arm off the passenger side, and what you have to do is heat this up a little, and then this has a slot in the end of it, and it's got a cotter pin that runs through there at the end, and there's little holes all around in the end of that, so wherever you wind up when you're snug on that tie rod is where your cotter pin goes. So that's how that works. And then this little cup and ball thing, this cup comes out also, and then that fits on there. So this goes up against that, and then there's another one kind of like that on the other side, and it's just, there's a spring behind that, and you tighten that down, so that gives it a little bit of a cushion. There's a spring there, but it's not really all that safe because it's just the best they had at the time, but they learned pretty quickly that this wasn't a real good deal because it's open and it gets dirt in there, and then they wear out and the springs break, and then pretty soon you've got a tie rod in that pops off, and that's not a good deal. At those breakneck speeds that they were driving back in those days, you know, probably 35 miles an hour, have one of these pop off, it would still be pretty exciting. So what they have nowadays, there was a wonderful article I found on the internet about this whole situation and kind of the dangers of running these things. So what they make is a replacement tie rod end that goes on the tie rod, but what it has is a bolt on the end of it instead of this cup and ball system. So it's like a newer style tie rod like they'd use nowadays, and then you have to grind this peen off the end of this and pop that ball out, and then your bolt comes out of the tie rod end, the new one, and goes through here, and you put a castle nut on there and a cotter pin, and that way it don't get away from you. So I'm going to order those tomorrow, and they're not that expensive. It's like, I think it was $29 for the pair. So I'm going to have my whole front end rebuilt here, refurbished, and I think it's going to be good, and I'm kind of happy with that.